So there were more earthquakes in California today. And over the past couple weeks, God has really been showing me that and telling me that um, both New York City and the West Coast of the United States are going to be absolutely terrorized by Him. Now, the thing I understand about God really well now is that through individual acts, it's just really hard to comprehend that it's Him. So you kind of need to look at all the things happening in all the different areas. So the main troubles in these locations are going to be lawlessness. He said that the spirit of the Antichrist in the woke movement has unleashed something that will be impossible to restrain completely now that it has been unleashed. And so this defund police, don't go after criminals. This is going to allow lawlessness to just thrive. And it's going to spread out. It's going to go into places we haven't seen before as a nation. I know a lot of things are happening in California. I mean, people's cars are they're going in and getting parts, and like a lot of these things people aren't even talking about. And he's saying that they won't be talking about them because they're ashamed, because they recognize that they're complicit in it somehow, but it's like an avalanche that got started that can't be stopped. Then New York City, he's just shown me images. It's just going to be obliterated at the end. And he has said that references to Babel in Revelations are in reference to New York City, and on some level Los Angeles and a few places on the West Coast, but that primarily the big action that goes down is going to go down in New York City. He did say that it's not going to be the whole East Coast because he still needs Washington, D.C. to be intact, because apparently a lot of things are going to go down there. But New York City is not a place you want to be anywhere in the next 7 years. Get out if you can. That was him. Then there are going to be a lot of weather things that happen in New York City, but the West Coast, he's showing me now, he's going way higher than I expected. I always knew California, or I have since he started talking to me. He's discussed his displeasure, deep displeasure with California. And he's also, for the past 20 or so years, every time I've come across an article on the slowly building drought with the Colorado River, he's had it stick in my head, and now he's shown me that it will not recover. This drought is going to become severe. This is going to affect food supply, but he's also shown me that there's no way to sustain life. And all those people that are currently in California will have to relocate. He's shown me recently that the big tech companies, they're building these cities, and he will allow them to purchase water. And so we will have internet for quite some time, even though not many people are going to want to live in these areas if they're not protected by very rich men. And then there will be some wealthy that remain in California that can source their own water, but that he's using the words barren wasteland. California will slowly become a barren wasteland. That was him again. So there was something else in California. We have the lawlessness. He brought up gangs yesterday that we're letting in, that essentially with open immigration, where he's showing me a picture of a serpent just slithering up through the bowels of darkness into our country. That is not to say we should mistreat anyone, and he knows everything you do. These many of these people that are coming are his children. Not one came here by mistake. Everything that's happening is his design, and so that's just a caveat. So we have the weather, we have the lawlessness, we have the famine and drought. Yeah, I guess that's about it. But he's been really serious, and if you don't believe that, or if your brain can't totally focus on the fact that these things are happening, and when seen in a larger picture, that they're headed towards one direction, and that's the second coming of Jesus Christ, he recommends you take a screenshot. When you see a news story and you know that, you might need to make life changes, if it is the end times, if you look at your screenshots and and animals, there's going to be a lot of bug and animal issues in California. Take those pictures, and then, 3 months later, look through them all. You'll see a pattern. Seen individually, no one's going to, no news source is going to put all these things down to the Lord. But I read the news with him daily, and it's just one picture after another. He's like, look what I'm doing. Watch what I'm doing. And pretty much anything that is a mystery, anything that's slightly strange, he's kind of put those in there as a clue that it's him. So you'll see a news article like, say, scientists don't know why all these, I'm just giving you an example, why all these volcanoes are going off. And I've just more and more, almost every week, it's increasing that there's just mysteries on the earth. And that's kind of his clue to Christians that it's him. So it's not as if there's just going to be an earthquake on the San Andreas Fault. That would be too obvious. There will be earthquakes in strange places, and scientists will kind of think that it might be this or that reason. But they won't. He's saying there will be some obvious ones, but the ones he wants Christians to pay attention to are the ones that no one can quite figure out, or the word mysteries there. And I'm seeing, as I look through my picture feed, more and more every day. It's just, scientists don't know. Anyway, it's the Lord. He has to do these harsh things upon the earth. He's promised them, and he needs to wake a lot of people up. So it's something that hopefully many Christians will eventually rejoice in. But he says it's going to take a while to get there. At first, it's going to be very scary. So anyway, if you're in either of those areas, he is strongly encouraging you to have a contingency plan, because it is not going to ease up. Amen.